Warner Bros. Discovery celebrates a banner year for All Elite Wrestling. A match between Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory on SmackDown last night is called off due to injury. We've got plenty of updates on the severity of the injuries and a health update on both WWE superstars. Randy Orton, LA Knight and AJ Styles team up to try and vanquish the Bloodline off Friday nights. Butch teases the return of Pete Dunne to WWE. WWE reportedly are working on a brand new Bray Wyatt project that involves the late star's brother Bo Dallas. An update on Sheamus' return to WWE in-ring competition. NXT superstar Cora Jade possibly has suffered an injury during a recent WWE live event. The names for the factions involving Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross have now been revealed. Logan Paul teases a lawsuit against Kevin Owens. Darby Allin is reportedly messed up after a dangerous spot on AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday, a health update on WWE Hall of Famer Afa of the Wild Samoans, and a possible spoiler who Matt Riddle's partner could be tonight at New Japan's Battle in the Valley event. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about Warner Bros. Discovery and All Elite Wrestling, as there are plenty of rumors about the relationship. Could it possibly end this year? Could WBD possibly acquire Monday Night Raw instead of AEW programming? Well, Warner Bros. Discovery has issued a press release celebrating a banner year for All Elite Wrestling on TNT and TBS in 2023. The press release reads as following: TBS and TNT All Elite Wrestling programming delivered a banner year. AEW franchises across Warner Bros. Discovery networks continue to deliver consistent and top-ranked programs. TNT and TBS have wrapped up another stellar year of AEW wrestling across its networks, including consistently delivering top-ranked programs each week while expanding AEW programming in mid-2023 through TNT's AEW Collision on Saturdays and continuing to broadcast memorable wrestling moments and storylines through TBS's AEW Dynamite on Wednesday nights and TNT's AEW Rampage on Friday nights. AEW programs across TBS and TNT in 2023 ranked in the top 10 of all cable programs among adults aged under 50, 72 times, including 50 times with a top 5 program in the coveted demo. Viewership of AEW programming on the network saw increasing momentum as the year culminated, reaching 15.6 million total viewers in Q4 2023, up 3% versus Q4 in 2022. Overall, AEW programming reached nearly 4 million viewers each week across TNT and TBS. TBS continued its success into the new year, with this week's AEW Dynamite telecast delivering cable's most watched live sports programming on the night among the 25 to 54 category, and second most watched live sports programming on the night among 18 to 49. The program was also up double digits in both demos versus last week's AEW Dynamite telecast. WBD's action-packed AEW programming continues tonight with AEW Rampage Homecoming at 10 p.m. on Eastern, and tomorrow with AEW Collision it continues to go on about that. So what are your thoughts about that press release from Warner Bros. Discovery when it comes to AEW? Is this an indication that they're happy, or is it just a case of they would put this out anyway because it's a media rights negotiations year? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, some scary scenes last night on Friday Night SmackDown on Fox involving two young WWE superstars. Carmelo Hayes was looking to improve his chances of entering the Royal Rumble Friday night on SmackDown with a victory over Austin Theory. Unfortunately, no win or loss was to be had as the match was stopped early by the referee following an awkward spot for both men off the top rope. With Hayes in a seated position atop the corner, Theory charged towards him and attempted something along the lines of a Spanish fly, only from a half-seated position himself, and the back of Hayes' head appeared to land on Theory's forehead as they reached the mat. The referee initially checked on Theory, throwing up the X signal from there to call the match and summon a doctor, but the doctor seemed to spend more time checking on Hayes, at least on camera. They showed a replay of the incident before cutting to Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick, who assured viewers that the updates would be shared as soon as possible. Hayes showed up to SmackDown last night asking General Manager Nick Aldis about his Rumble chances, only for Theory and Grayson Waller to interrupt, thwarting any resolution that could have been made there. This set up the match between Hayes and Theory, which unfortunately obviously got no definitive resolution eitherwards. Now, we do have an update when it comes to both Carmelo Hayes and when it comes to Austin Theory from WWE as well. The first post came from Carmelo Hayes himself, who posted this gif of The Undertaker rising up out of a coffin to imply that he was indeed okay. We got a more official line from WWE later on as well, saying the following quote: "Updates following their match tonight on SmackDown, Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes were evaluated for injuries. They both suffered face contusions and will both be okay." So indeed, positive news that both stars seemingly are going to be okay. If we get any more information about their injuries, their health updates, anything like that, of course, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, speaking of SmackDown last night, we saw Roman Reigns' challengers team up to try and thwart off the Bloodline. On Friday's episode of SmackDown, General Manager Nick Aldis officially became fed up with the Bloodline getting involved in other matches. After letting Paul Heyman know they are not equals, Aldis put Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns in the main event against Randy Orton, LA Knight and AJ Styles. When Heyman reminded him that the Tribal Chief was not there, Aldis quipped that the reigning undisputed WWE Universal Champion likes to start stuff he can't finish, before telling Sikoa and Uso that if they couldn't find a partner, it would be a handicap match. Heyman spent the night trying to sucker someone into being the mystery partner, but was turned down over and over and over again. In the end, the main event did in fact go from a 6-man to a 3-on-2 handicap match, though Sikoa and Uso took out Orton during his entrance to even the playing field. Knight and Styles played out the standard "but can they coexist" babyface tropes for most of the match. Styles reminded Knight that he tried to screw him, although it was the phenomenal one that attacked Knight during his return last month. While eventually they began working together to take out their opponents, things were looking grim when naturally Randy Orton's music hit. The Viper made his way to the ring to get tagged in by Styles. After Orton cleared house and won the match, the three faces took turns hitting their finishers on Sikoa, then came together to take out Uso before putting Sikoa through the announce desk, sending a collective message to their Royal Rumble opponent Roman Reigns, who will defend against the Viper, AJ Styles and LA Knight in a fatal 4-way match in a couple of weeks' time. So what did you think about this main event on SmackDown? What did you think about this story going through the show? Did you like this story? And what's your thoughts and predictions as we get closer to the Royal Rumble? Do you think there's any chance that Roman Reigns could drop the Universal Championship, or is it going to stay around the waist of the Tribal Chief? Now, this is quite an interesting story as well, because it seems like we're going to be getting a return to the name Pete Dunne for Butch. Butch may be no more on SmackDown, with a tease that the former Brawling Brute may be reverting to his original ring name of Pete Dunne. In a previously recorded segment, Butch appeared alongside close friend Tyler Bate, who made his main roster debut on last week's New Year's Revolution episode of SmackDown as Butch's mystery partner in a match against Pretty Deadly. As the pair chatted over coffee, Butch then told Bate that he can handle himself and he needed a partner just for one night. Bate said they had fun kicking Pretty Deadly's heads in and told Butch he seemed like he was lost and needed to find his identity. Butch, however, insisted that their team was one and done. He also mentioned that the Brawling Brutes faction he had been in with Sheamus, who's out with an injury, we'll speak about that in just a second, and Ridge Holland, who is back in NXT recently, is in the past. Bates said Butch needed to look to the past and recall who helped him make a name for himself, then asked him what that name was going to be. In the tease, Bate asked, "Well," and the camera cut to Butch's face, which looked pensive and intense before the shot fades to black. The broadcast cut into the next match before Butch can answer. Now, of course, Butch and Bate know each other very well, as they were both part of the British Strong Style stable across the UK independent scene before making their debuts in WWE. Bate also defeated Butch to become the first ever NXT UK champion. Butch would return the favour by claiming the title in a critically acclaimed match at NXT TakeOver Chicago later that same year. So it could be a case that Pete Dunne is coming back and we could be getting a more longer term tag team between Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. What's your thoughts about that? Let me know your reaction to that one. Now, a new project reportedly is in the works when it comes to the late Bray Wyatt. Now, earlier this week, PW Insider reported that Bo Dallas, the real-life brother of Bray Wyatt, was still under contract with WWE, despite not appearing on television, he was Uncle Howdy, since early 2023. Now, the outlet says that Dallas is also involved in an ongoing project related to his brother Wyndham Rotunda, known to WWE fans as Bray Wyatt, who unexpectedly passed away at the age of 36 last August. Materials for the project, which which is being coordinated by WWE, have been gathered over the last week. While it is unknown as to where this Bray Wyatt-related project will air and really what it's going to consist of, it is noted that Bo Dallas sat down with WWE's production team to record an interview for the program. Filming for this production reportedly took place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this week, the same city in which Kalausum Studio is located. Kalausum Studio is a makeup effects company. It's worked with WWE on several occasions, supplying them with custom masks and other props made for television. Jason Baker of Coliseum is recognized as the creator of Wyatt's signature Fiend mask. In the wake of Wyatt's death, WWE donated all the net proceeds of Wyatt's merchandise sales, including shirts, replica masks, and plaques, to his wife JoJo Offerman and their children. Wyatt's father, WWE Hall of Famer Mike Rotunda, later revealed the company also set up Wyatt on a Legends contract in which all proceeds will be specifically forwarded to Wyatt's children as well. Of course, if we get any more details about this possible project, we'll let you know in the future. Now, we spoke about Pete Dunne, Butch, earlier on. We've got an update when it comes to Sheamus as well, and his return possibly to in-ring competition for WWE. WWE superstar Sheamus has been out of action with a shoulder injury since August, when he faced off against Edge, also known as Adam Copeland in AEW, in Copeland's last match before leaving for AEW. According to various reports, it sounds as though Sheamus could be approaching a return. PW Insider has indicated that there has been some talk about Sheamus coming back, though they haven't heard anything definitive. Meanwhile, in yesterday's Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer stated that Sheamus is expected back sometime within the next couple of weeks. That could mean Sheamus will be ready for a return in the men's Royal Rumble match. This year's event is just a few weeks away, taking place on January 27 in St. Petersburg, Florida. So far, 5 men have declared themselves for the big match, including Sheamus' longtime friend and rival Drew McIntyre. So we'll have to wait and see, certainly, if Sheamus is going to return at the Rumble, but his return reportedly is expected in the next couple of weeks. Now, some sad news when it comes to Cora Jade, because it looks like she's possibly picked up an injury. NXT superstar Cora Jade has apparently suffered an injury at a house show last night in Dade City, Florida. Jade has become one of the promising talents in recent times in WWE's developmental brand, but the apparent injury could keep her on the sidelines. Cora Jade and Lyra Valkyria squared off in the main event, and unfortunately, Jade hit the mat at some point, and medical staff arrived to see how she was doing. Those in attendance shared pictures on social media of Jade being checked on by the referee and a trainer. In one of the pictures, she can be seen holding her head while laying on the mat. We're hoping it's not anything too major. Now, actually, Cora Jade did post on social media yesterday to suggest that maybe this was quite more serious. She posted the following gif saying, "I laugh to keep from crying." Now, what she might be referring to here when it comes to this is that Jade only recently made her comeback at NXT Deadline and has been regular on television since then. That was only in December. She's been eyeing to capture the NXT Women's Championship. At the Premium Live event, Valkyria approached Blair Davenport after she was victorious in the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge and dropped hints about the upcoming bout. However, Jade had other ideas as she announced her intention to win the NXT Women's Championship. Since then, Jade has been appearing in the title picture, and her last night's match against Valkyria is seemingly an indication that a major bout between the two is set to take place at a high-profile live event. However, if Jade is hurt, things may need to change depending on how serious the injury is. As I mentioned, if we get any more indication of the severity of the injury, if indeed it's legitimate, we'll let you know. But as of right now, it doesn't look good. Now, going back to SmackDown last night, 2 factions have officially got brand new names on WWE programming. Faction Warfare is set to unfold on SmackDown, with the groups led by Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross, both getting names this week. Last year, Lashley returned to WWE television and immediately aligned himself with the Street Profits. The faction has proven to be a force to be reckoned with on SmackDown, though have so far been unable to capture championship gold. The Almighty is seeking to bring out a new level of aggression from Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Before this week's SmackDown, it was reported that the Pride was the expected name of Lashley's faction. On Twitter, Lashley confirmed this new name for the group, as he stated in his Twitter bio that he was the leader of the Pride. Interestingly, though, that Lashley would change his bio shortly after to remove all references to the Pride, so maybe this was a bit too fast. Now, Lashley's faction didn't confirm its new name on SmackDown this week, but Karrion Kross's group did. On last week's SmackDown, Kross and the returning AOP attacked Lashley while Scarlett and Paul Ellering watched on. During this week's show, Lashley called out AOP and Cross, but only received Ellering. The legendary manager pointed to the Titantron, where a video promo from Cross played. In it, the two-time former NXT champion confirmed his group's name as the Final Testament. So it would appear that now both factions have names, or at least one of them certainly does. Now, Logan Paul was on SmackDown last night, and he's threatening a lawsuit against his challenger for the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble, Kevin Owens. While Logan Paul may be a social media sensation, and he's no stranger to litigation, he clearly is empowered with lawyers at the ready. In a pre-tape segment on last night's SmackDown, Logan Paul had stiff words for Kevin Owens, including the threat of a lawsuit. Last week, after Kevin Owens won the title match at the upcoming Royal Rumble event against Logan Paul, he landed a big punch that knocked out the champion. Later, Owens responded in his own pre-tape segment, and needless to say, the two are clearly ready to tangle at the Royal Rumble. So, seemingly, we're going to be getting a big clash between the two, and it's going to be very physical, no doubt. Now, social media was talking a lot about this spot on AEW Dynamite, the homecoming edition of Dynamite, this past Wednesday from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. And AEW fans are well aware that their injured list is growing more by the week, and it appears that Darby Allin is pretty banged up after this week's homecoming edition of Dynamite at Daly's Place. Of course, Darby Allin is known for embracing risks both inside and outside the wrestling ring. His daring moves and extracurricular ventures extend to dangerous spots during matches and extreme sports activities like stunts, skateboarding, and even climbing Mount Everest. The January 10th episode of AEW Dynamite featured a Texas Tornado match in the main event, pitting Sting and Darby Allin against Konosuke Takeshita and Powerhouse Hobbs of the Don Callis family. The babyface duo pulled out the victory in the end, but it wasn't without a big bump. This was the bump that certainly got a lot of people talking. We can show it right now.
An amazing tag team matchup. Didn't think of anything less, but oh my God.
Ouch, to say the least, when it comes to Darby Allin. Now, Brian Alvarez has reported on the F4W online board that Darby Allin suffered an injury during the match, particularly from this neck bump into the ropes. The extent of the injury and potential impact of Darby's availability for upcoming events remains uncertain, and we hope he has a swift recovery. Brian Alvarez said, quote, "Actually, I was told the neck bump into the ropes really messed Darby up in that match." Sting also took a pretty bad bump to the end of the match. He tried to do a Scorpion Death Drop onto Powerhouse Hobbs through two tables, but they only hit one of them. Since they didn't have proper placement on the hardware, they missed the first table completely, sending Hobbs and the Hall of Famer through only one table. Sting also hit his head on the floor in the process, but he seems to be okay. Of course, after the match, the Young Bucks return and seemingly set up their match at AEW Revolution, which is set to be Sting's final match in professional wrestling. But what did you make of this spot? What do you make of the reaction to it? And does this concern you? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about that. Now, we've got a health update on WWE Hall of Famer Afa, who is, of course, the uncle of the current undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns. And Hall of Famer Afa is recovering in the hospital after being diagnosed with pneumonia and suffering 2 heart attacks on the scene. In a message shared on his Facebook page, it was stated that after being taken to the hospital with pneumonia, Afa suffered 2 heart attacks. It says, quote, "Update on Afa the Wild Samoan, affectionately known as Pops. Afa was admitted to the hospital last night with pneumonia, but had a mild heart attack upon arrival. Today he had a second small heart attack and was sent for a heart catheterization. He is doing okay, his spirits are high, he isn't out of the woods yet, but will be kept in the hospital for a day or two for observation and monitoring. He thanks everyone for their concern, continued love and prayers." So, obviously, he's a legendary competitor, legendary figure, part of a legendary family. Hopefully, we have positive news to bring you. Of course, we get any more updates on Afa and his condition, we'll let you know in a future video. Finally, today is New Japan's Battle in the Valley event. We may have an update, a spoiler ahead, when it comes to a tag team partner that's a mystery for Matt Riddle. Riddle made his first appearance for New Japan back at their New Year's Dash event on January 5th, the day after Wrestle Kingdom. Riddle issued a challenge to New Japan president and television champion Hiroshi Tanahashi, who said that he has no idea who Riddle was and would need to do some research. Riddle will now challenge Tanahashi for the television championship at the New Beginning in Sapporo on February 23rd. But before then, Riddle will make his debut for the promotion in tag team action at tonight's Battle in the Valley show, where he will team with a mystery partner against Zack Sabre Jr. and Bad Dude Tito of TMDK. There has now been a potential spoiler as to the identity of Riddle's partner. Per Shawn Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, while not confirmed, most within New Japan Pro Wrestling expect Jeff Cobb to be the partner for Riddle against Sabre Jr. and Tito. The show will also see Jon Moxley taking on Shingo Takagi, as well as Will Ospreay taking on Kazuchika Okada in the main event. But there you go, guys. That's the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.